On Earth, there is such a terrifying prison. Not only are the most dangerous criminals in it, and there are terrifying sharks in the cold waters around them, make it considered a cage that is impossible to escape. This is the highest level of security. Alcatraz Prison. And how terrible is it? At first, Alcatraz Island was named Alcatraz Island, located on the east side of the Golden Gate Bridge. It is a small island made of rocks. It was first built by the U.S. military with bricks. But in 1906, San Francisco, where soil is loose, has experienced a major earthquake. 4 prisons were destroyed, a large number of prisoners disappeared, but Alcatraz Island is intact. So the local government decided to transform it into a prison. All the serious prisoners are detained here. Therefore, it is also called Alcatraz Island. As a prison in prison, its exterior wall is 0.6 meters thick. It is divided into 3 layers inside. There are more than 300 prison cells in total. All prison doors use privacy-free iron bars. The only outlet is this heavy iron door weighing 2 tons. And outside the cell building, there is also a 4-meter-high fence. It's covered with barbed wire mesh. There are 6 watchtowers on the outer floor. Guards with guns are stationed here for 24-hour surveillance. And outside the island, it is wrapped in cold and bottomless seawater. It makes it difficult for all prisoners who want to escape from prison. But even so, there were still 3 serious jailbreaks here. 1937. In the 3rd year of the Alcatraz prison, 2 prisoners decided to challenge this unbreakable prison first, and choose the target in the factory area where prisoners work. They used stolen tools. It took weeks to saw 2 steel bars in the window, jump out of the cell building, then use a wrench to smash the small door beside the wire mesh. Use the abandoned tires around as mats. Slide down a 6-meter-high cliff. At the same time, they also brought 2 oil barrels as floating objects. Just jump like this, leaving the Devil Island, and they chose to act in foggy weather. So much so that when the prison guards discovered the jailbreak and searched, searchlights can't spot them. But then, according to the investigators' analysis, these 2 fugitives could not escape from this sea by swimming, because under such a thick fog, not easy to lose direction, and the terrain that is too high and too low also makes the seawater here. There are many unpredictable undercurrents. At the same time, there are sharks in the sea. The chance of survival is small, although their bodies were not found afterwards. But investigators firmly believe that the 2 have drowned, so the case was closed in a hurry. And 2 years later, in 1939, 5 more prisoners decided to escape. They use only 1 hour of air release time every day, traded from other prisoners to get a hacksaw. Then at about 3 in the morning, while the prison guards are not paying attention, first, the iron doors of their respective cells were sawed open. Then came to the iron window opposite. I saw the iron strips in the same way. After, 5 people climbed out of the cell building through the windows one after another. After avoiding the guard's sight, I successfully passed through the wire mesh. To increase the success rate of escape, they decided to split into 3 groups. Action from 3 directions. The first 2 people choose to use abandoned wood on the beach. Made a wooden raft that can escape across the sea. 2 people in the other group look for tools to leave on another beach. The last prisoner who acted alone jumped into the sea, planning to swim alone to San Francisco. When the prison guards launched a search, the whereabouts of these 5 people were discovered immediately. 3 of them chose to surrender due to exhaustion of physical strength. The other 2 tried to continue wandering and were shot by the guards. In the end, the 4 were locked back in the cell. 1 person died of shooting. Although in the next 23 years, 20 prisoners tried various prison escapes, but without exception, they all ended in failure. Until a prison break in 1962. In the end, this prison, known as the world's strictest. From then on, all faces are lost. At first, 3 prisoners were turned off after the lights. Made a fake head with stolen soap and hair. Cover with a blanket. This is used to cover up the prison guards' rounds. Then, the ventilation port under the sink was dug through the tools and escaped along the internal pipe. After the investigation personnel analyzed it, since the toilets in Alcatraz prison are washed with seawater, make these 3 prisoners over 3 years. Apply water from the toilet to the wall every day. Concrete expands like a sponge after absorbing seawater, until the entire wall is cracked. After the wall becomes fragile, they dug through the cell with their stolen spoon. At the same time, to create an escape tool, these 3 prisoners were cleaning the top floor during the day. On the grounds of preventing dust from falling into prison, a bed sheet cleverly blocked the prison guard's view. And within the next 6 weeks, 3 of them took turns to climb into the warehouse on the top floor at night. Through an engineering magazine, take advantage of 50 raincoats and glue here. successfully made life jackets and life rafts, and transformed the accordion into an inflatable pump. In the end, it disappeared into the vast night. Regardless of how the prison party analyzes their survival possible, the successful jailbreak of these 3 people has become a fact. Jailbreak in Alcatraz was less than a year after the incident. The federal government announced the jail to close. No reason has been announced so far, although Alcatraz is no longer a prison. Instead, it has become a tourist attraction. The prison scene is preserved here. This will make tourists feel it personally. The despair of prisoners when they were imprisoned here, and the 3 people who successfully escaped from prison that year. Is he dead on the way to escape? Successfully completed the jailbreak? Perhaps. They are the only ones.